Have you ever been really inspired to make music, but by the time you set up your gear, turn on your DAW, get your instruments out, connect the wires, all that motivation has suddenly vanished? That's because being inspired is like having a handful of water. If you don't drink from it right away, it'll slip through your fingers. So it's really important that we have things set up and ready to go so that when inspiration strikes, we can act on it. I've done a lot in my preparations to make sure that I have templates, to make sure that my equipment is connected properly, but I noticed that there's one place where I'm really starting to lose time and steam, and that's in creating simple drum beats to start my ideas. So I decided to create a set of MIDI clips I can use at any time to just drop into my tracks and get started. These are called my go-to beats. They're drum grooves with soul. This is a collection of really common and useful beats that I can use to get my tracks started, and they're all kind of humanized. They have velocity differences, they have timing differences. The Ableton Live clips have probability and chance involved, so that these clips have a lot of life and can be very useful for music making. Let's take a look at what I got. So here's a pretty straightforward rock beat. You can see we got our beat right here, and if we look real closely, notice that the timing is less than perfect. It's humanized. It's got some kind of variation. Even our velocities are not all straight. They vary a bit so that we have some changes as things go on. And there's even like a couple notes that have probability. So this little ghost note on the snare will only play about 54% of the time. And that's common with a lot of these beats. Here's a pretty straightforward beat I use all the time. Rather than keep on programming it, I can just drop this in a track when I'm ready to use it. Take a look at this beat. This has got some nice ghost notes on the snare drum, but they don't play every time, and this is like a real drummer. Sometimes they play the ghost notes, sometimes they don't. But the ghost notes give a little bit of life to a beat. So we've been listening to the straight beats. Now we've also got stuff that's a little more grooving, and a lot of ghost notes and probability happening here, so that this beat, even though it's one bar long, it has a lot of variety every time it plays. This one's got a little bit more action in the hi-hats. Very common beat you can use on lots of styles of music. You speed it up, slow it down, and it all fit to your project. Got a couple experimental ones. This is a pentuplet beat, so the hi-hats here are divided into groups of 5, and they all play at about a 77% chance, give or take. So that sometimes you hear the notes, sometimes you don't. Even made a septuplet one, which has divisions of 7, so we've got 7 different hi-hats for a total of 14 for this bar. And I've also got a collection of some more syncopated beats. So this is when I want to get a little more grooving with my music here. And finally, there are some triplet beats. And you notice all the grids here are set to the triplet grid, where the beats are divided into 3s. The full pack has 65 of these grooves, but I'm giving away 16 of them for free. If you want the full set, you can join the Music Production Club. But there's something special that I got for the Music Production Club pack that I think you might really like. These are called Fab 4 grooves, and these are grooves taken from my favorite drummer, Ringo Starr from the Beatles. So I can apply the timing and feel that Ringo Starr has onto these beats. So let's play this beat, for example. And maybe we'll put on the feel to I Feel Fine. We just drag it right on there, and that has been applied now. And we got a slight difference in the groove. I'm going to commit this so you can see what actually happens to the beat. And I'll go back and forth. So that's the original beat, and this is the timing of I Feel Fine. Let's listen to this beat and apply the groove to Come Together as intro to it. And I'm going to click commit so we can see the difference. And we can see the snare is a little bit late, the kick's a little early, and that last snare is a little late, which gives it that kind of like back and forth push and pull feeling. I'm going to take the outro of Come Together and put it on this beat. It's a very driving ending to the song, and I think that gets imparted on this as we apply the groove. And I'm going to click commit so you can watch what happens. And we see the timing changes. And that gives this a nice feel and a groove we can play along with. So these 44 Fab 4 grooves come with the full pack that's part of my music production club. Otherwise, you can get 16 of my MIDI drum beats for free. Go-To Beats allows me to capture my ideas and get to work chasing inspiration rather than getting stuck on repetitive and redundant tasks. Check it out at my site, brianfunk.com. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.